And do you know what? This is just a really great, lovely story. If you've been watching The Piano on Channel 4, 13-year-old blind pianist Lucy was crowned the star performer of the series last night. This was a performance at the Royal Festival Hall. She was named... she just was brilliant. Should we have a little look at her in action? I think if you haven't seen it, this is well worth it.
So star performer, but not winner.
Well, she is a winner.
Of course she is.
We're all
Same
winners.
thing.
And in this woke world, we now call it being a star performer. But that's not
Everyone knows it means winner.
Here is this beautiful girl, blind with autism, who plays Chopin. I think that is what she was playing.
Yeah.
And it's magical, and it's lyrical, and it's lovely. And I love those pianos that you find on railway stations
Such a
now.
good idea,
And some people sit down and do chopsticks.
That's huge.
Others can sit down and play Chopin, and it's fantastic.
It's a lovely idea.
It's just incredible. One of the things that I love about the show, the premise of it, is it's just normal people, you know, playing a piano in a station, and they're discovered by this television show. They're watched by judges in a secret room, and then, you know, Lucy's performing in the Royal Festival Hall. They're being crowned star performer, which you all know means winner.
In her, doesn't she? You look at her,
Yeah.
It's just
And it's judged by serious people. The concert pianist Lang Lang was one of the judges, so this is the real thing.
Yeah, no,
Very
that's
good.
lovely, and congratulations to her.
Yeah, well done.
Well, if you're wandering through a station, the chances are there may be a very large clock there. One in 6 people in Britain admitted they struggle to tell the time unless it's on a digital clock. 16% out of 2,000 people asked in a survey said they struggle to read a traditional analogue clock. Younger people were those who struggled the most. 21% in Gen Z, 18 to 24, saying that they found telling the time a bit of a problem if it was on an analogue face.
I find this quite surprising.
I don't find it surprising
Oh,
at
you
all.
don't?
Well, only
Okay.
my wife teaches in a prison. And the first thing that she teaches the prisoners is how to read the time. And virtually none of them are able to read the time. It's a real issue, reading a traditional clock. The analogue clock is much, with the numbers going through, is much easier to read. So this is a real issue for communicating with people. And in a way, the world is changing. Maybe that old traditional clock with the Roman, often has Roman numerals, we don't
Although
need
it's
anymore.
such an important part of how humans have told the time throughout history. I mean, even if you go back to sundials, for example, you know, that was all based around a dial. So it does feel like something.
You say bring back the sundial. It'd be quite heavy having a wrist, doesn't it? You know, my portable sundial.
Which way am I pointing? But, I mean, things move on. I mean, maybe we have to think about saying goodbye to the analogue clock. The world will be digital.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound like somebody who's just wistful for the past, because I don't think, you know, that is me. But I do think there's something nice. You know, I've got a digital watch, but I've got the old style.
You can set them to that.
Yeah,
Like our phones, you can set to the analogue one. Maybe we need
But there are
to
further
set
shocking revelations in this survey.
I mean...
Because 2,000 people were asked questions, and other everyday things people couldn't do was put flat-pack furniture together.
Do you know that's one of my favourite things to
I
do?
really love it too.
It's like a 3D
so
puzzle.
Fun. Yeah.
I love it.
That's
It's
why
really
I take all mine over to her, because I can't
I
stand
love it. I get really annoyed if something's been delivered and then I come home and, like, Dan might have got this screwdriver and I've been like, I almost want to take it
You
apart.
are easily pleased. Have you ever tried origami? That's quite fun too, you know, with paper.
It's not a set of drawers.
Yeah, very good. Ironing clothes, people find that very... 60%.
60% of people struggle
Can't-
to put on a duvet cover. I mean,
Oh, I find
that
it almost impossible.
Really?
Yes, because it's
You're
the big
clearly
duvet...
not doing the right trick, which is you turn it inside out,
Yeah,
you put
the
your hands
inside
in
out
the
method.
corners, and you grab the 2 corners, and then you just shake it.
Oh, that's the hack I need.
Yeah, that is.
Forgive me.
A row
something
has
every day
broken out
does.
whether a music session on board a flight from Dublin to New York was appropriate, with some dubbing it selfish and so rude. Here you go.
Now, when this happens on the underground, you can move the next station to a different
Is that
compartment.
what you do, Giles?
Yes, that's what I do.
you've
When you're on
been
the
outraged.
aeroplane, it's a little bit difficult.
Would you have been outraged by this?
I mean,
Well, once would be amusing enough. You're on Aer Lingus, we've got to go with the culture. Yes, thank you, lads. I give you a whiskey, except it's become more expensive. But then again, if it's a long flight, Where were they flying?
Well, Dublin
To New York, to JFK.
eight
We don't know
hours.
that they played there
I know,
the
I
whole
think-
time. I mean, it was it's just marvellous.
There was a marvellous moment which
it's
we all
something
enjoyed.
to break up
They
the
played
monotony.
They played as passengers were waiting to disembark. So
See,
that's
that
nice.
sounds
I
okay.
see.
Welcome music.
Oh, well, fine. If
And
they
it
were just-
did look, to be fair, like the people standing around were kind of quite enjoying it and getting into it. I think you'd enjoy it if it was for 5 or 10 minutes, but if
At the
it was
end
for
of
the
the
whole
long
flight,
journey,
yeah,
yes.
if it was for the whole
But they
flight,
kept
you'd be
popping
in
up
it.
because it's quite fun the first time.
Yeah.
The second time, then you're trying to get to sleep. And then after 8 hours on the aeroplane, you might have felt a bit desperate.
Well, 8 hours of any music on an aeroplane is going to drive you crazy. But I mean, this is just as you're getting off the plane. Admittedly, it can sometimes take you a long time to get off the plane, but
I think
thought
it's
a great
lovely.
idea. Lovely sound. I loved it.
Well, there you go. You know the definition of the definition of a Scottish gentleman. I'm moving away from the Irish. Definition of a Scottish gentleman is somebody who knows how to play the bagpipes but doesn't.
Oh.
Good. So some of these sounds, in theory, are lovely.
Right.
But we don't really.
Oh, we've got our own bagpipe lady who plays our bagpipes
Oh, yes.
here on this show.
I've seen her. I've seen her. It was for St Andrew's
Louise.
Day.
You're going to
Yeah.
play us out with maybe today with some Irish music. We'll come back and do a little bit of Irish dancing.
You can do the Irish dancing. I'll just...
Thank you both. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
We hope so.
Yeah.
We're now going to try and find the Chancellor in the corridor to do some negotiation.
On whiskey.
Yeah,
luck.
whiskey and personal loans.
No negation here.
You're gonna get
It's
into
competition
trouble.
time. You could be in with chance of winning 2 incredible prizes. Laura Hamilton is here with the details.